Qatar is one of the richest and most powerful Arab countries in the world. Even though it's small, it stands out as one of the most surprising nations in the Middle East. Its strategy is simple. If something is valuable, Qatar buys it, or becomes a partner. Their spending power seems to have no limits. And although their biggest regional rival is Saudi Arabia, most of us barely know anything about Qatar. So let's take a warm tea break and explore this tiny country on the Arabian Peninsula, overlooking the Persian Gulf. Qatar has a population of about 2.2 million people, but only 300,000 of them are actually Qatari. The rest are foreign workers. The country is ruled by a constitutional monarchy. Its current leader is Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. He completed his entire education in the United Kingdom and has led the royal family since 2013. Qatar's legal system is officially based on Sharia law, but in practice, most Sharia rules are not strictly applied. Tourism and international visitors shape the country into a far more flexible place. For example, you might think alcohol is banned. But no. You can drink freely inside hotels and even at home. That's why hotels became the center of nightlife, with luxury clubs and restaurants where wealthy Qataris, elite expats, and tourists socialize. Meeting a local Qatari in daily life is extremely rare. Their population is tiny and almost all of them are ultra-rich, living in their own exclusive world. And here's something important. Qataris are very different from most Middle Eastern societies. Nearly every Qatari speaks excellent English or French, often better than Arabic. They even speak English among themselves. Most were educated in British or American schools. So while they are Arab by culture, they have a much more global, Western-influenced mindset. Qatar wants to become the education hub of the entire Middle East. For Qatari citizens, electricity, water, gas, and phone bills are completely free, and except for major businesses like hotels, there are almost no taxes. So where does all this wealth come from? Not only oil. Qatar owns one of the largest natural gas reserves on the planet, and they invest their profits better than almost any other Arab nation. They hold major shares in global giants like Volkswagen and Siemens, and thousands of companies around the world have at least a small Qatari stake. In a way, Qatar is run like a giant corporation. But here's the part that matters for us in Turkey. Instead of building new investments, Qatar often buys successful Turkish companies that took decades to grow, and the purchase prices are rarely transparent. Until 1971, Qatar was under British control. And even today, the British influence is extremely strong. If you don't speak English, life in Qatar is difficult. Most executives in major companies are American or European. Lower-income jobs, on the other hand, are filled mostly by workers from Nepal, the Philippines, Pakistan, and Egypt. Despite its wealth, international human rights organizations report that working conditions in Qatar can be extremely harsh, sometimes close to modern-day slavery. Long hours, poor living conditions, and lack of rest are common. Some domestic workers reportedly work up to 18 hours a day without a single day off. According to investigations, nearly 70% of foreign workers face serious labor exploitation. Reforms were introduced due to international pressure, but the situation hasn't improved much. Because the majority of the population is male foreign workers, Qatar has one of the world's most extreme gender imbalances, 329 men for every 100 women. Still, Qatar has the highest GDP per capita on Earth. If you have a decent job there, you can buy cars most people can only dream of, and Qatar ranks among the top 5 safest countries in the world. One of the reasons is simple. The wealthy locals live isolated lives, and foreign workers who commit even minor offenses are quickly deported. To understand the security level, in shopping mall parking lots you often see ultra-luxury cars left running and unattended. Tourism is designed especially for Americans and Europeans. Despite Sharia law, women are not required to cover their heads, and the beaches around Doha are full of people enjoying the sun in bikinis and swimwear. According to the Global Peace Index, Qatar ranked 31st out of 163 countries. You can experience entertainment all year long: nightlife, beaches, desert safaris, and sports. Tennis is hugely popular, with several international tournaments every year. Of course, the country also hosted the 2022 World Cup, spending over $170 billion on infrastructure alone. Even though Qatar is mostly desert, it is surprisingly greener than many of its neighbors. And while there's plenty to do, many wealthy Qataris still spend much of their time in Europe or the United States.